1357th meeting of the Security Council is called to order. The provisional agenda for this meeting is reports of the Secretary General on the Sudan and South Sudan. The agenda is adopted. In accordance with Rule 37 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite the representatives of South Sudan and the Sudan to participate in this meeting. I give the floor to the representative of South Sudan.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are delighted to report to the Council for the second time under your presidency. And also we would like to recognize the Undersecretary General, Mr. Lacroix, and the Special Envoy, Professor Haitham, for their presentation, and also to wish Professor Haitham the best of luck in his new assignment. Mr. President, on behalf of our government, we welcome the Secretary General's letter regarding UNISFA reconfiguration and the situation in the Abyei area. The proposals the Secretary General is recommending are well received by the Deng Gai, and I hope the Council was able to read the letter of the Deng Gai chiefdoms, which we sent to the Council yesterday. Mr. President, while we welcome the proposals and recommendations of the Secretary General, we would like to express our concern regarding the proposed migration police liaising with the residents' Miseria community in the area, in the Abyei area, because that practice may in the long run legitimize illegal residencies and further occupation of more Dinka lands, which would continue to discourage the return of the Dinka IDPs to their rightful land. Mr. President, regarding the benchmarks, our government is still committed to engaging the government of the Sudan to achieve together these benchmarks. However, as you may know, for technical reasons, the two sides have not been able to meet regularly, especially while the region was preoccupied with the revitalized peace agreement negotiations. But we are now reliably informed that a meeting of the JBSM is scheduled to take place on September 23, 24 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Mr. President, on Resolution 2416, this delegation would like to propose a way of implementing paragraph 6 of the resolution. You may recall that paragraph 6 instructs the AUHIP to update this council on progress made by the parties on the implementation of the agreement on temporary arrangements for the administration and security of Abyei area, and on progress made on the settlement of the final status and two other issues. Since the parties have not been meeting consistently, we would like to propose that the parties directly update the Security Council jointly or individually. Mr. President, in conclusion, if it seems there has been relative peace in the Abyei area in recent years, it is because, to quote from the letter of the Denka Ngok chiefs, we fully agree that UNISFA has performed quite well over the last 7 years of its presence in Abyei area. It has practically averted further confrontation between Sudan and South Sudan, particularly over Abyei. Furthermore, we believe that the proposed adjustments to UNISFA mandate will add more dimensions to a sustainable peace across borders and between communities interacting within the Abyei box, unquote. Therefore, the current UNISFA force level, while being enhanced with the proposed police element, would be a prudent and wise decision on the part of this Council. I thank you, Mr. President.
The government of South Sudan appreciates the support and commitment of the UNFPA and other partners towards the protection and preserving the dignity of women and girls. This support continues to enable the Minister of Health to provide timely and quality healthcare, especially life-saving reproductive health services and information for crisis-affected women and girls. South Sudan, of course, as many of you know, has gone through many decades of war, and so gender-based violence has become a common thing as a result of displacement. The government of South Sudan supports the efforts to protect women and have the central government that has also control over its borders, and we have been supporting even areas that are under the control of the rebels with the reproductive health commodities. This is possible with the support of the UN agencies and particularly the UNFPA. The Minister of Health has two directorates that actually coordinate the work between the partners and the government. And these directorates include the International Health Directorate and the Reproductive Health Directorate. This is actually to ensure the access to the badly needed services to the women and girls. The UNFPA has throughout this crisis remained a dependable and leading partner, especially in mobilizing and making available much-needed resources to enable timely response to the sexual and reproductive health and gender-based violence services needs for the affected women and girls. The Minister of Health has closely worked with the UNFPA to set up service delivery points in displacement sites, including reproductive health clinics, women and girls-friendly spaces, and youth centers where they did not exist. The UNFPA and the Ministry continue to work to build the capacity of the health workers to provide quality sexual and reproductive health services and information, rehabilitate and reopen previously damaged maternity wards, identify and deploy critical staff to deliver sexual and reproductive health services through implementing partners, procure and deploy ambulances for referral, among others. The UNFPA is leading in procuring equipment and reproductive health commodities, including family planning methods in the country. As we ensure provision of life-saving services, we have continued to engage partners on the recovery and development fronts. Another area of good partnership with the UNFPA is the Strengthening Midwifery Services Project. This project offers nursing and midwifery training, as well as training of doctors and other health professionals. Through this project, supported by the Government of Canada and Sweden, South Sudan has moved from just 8 professional midwives and 6 obstetricians and gynecologists in 2011 to over 600 midwives and 30 obstetricians and gynecologists as we speak today. Thank you, Government of Canada, and thank you, Government of Sweden and the UNFPA. Another example is the Gender-Based Violence One-Stop Center. You have heard about it earlier. You have just watched the film. And this center provides comprehensive service, including legal support. And as you heard from the film, there has already been 2 cases of convictions. And of course, you also heard of the famous case of Terrain Hotel, where about 7 or 8 perpetrators were convicted last month, one of them to life imprisonment. This clearly shows that the government of South Sudan takes the issues of gender-based violence and rape very seriously. Also, jointly with the Ministry of, we are also planning to establish other more centers across the country. At the moment, we have other 2, including in Rumbek and Awil, plus the one in Juba. Those are 3, and we are planning to establish more 10 one-stop centers across the country. And jointly with the Minister of Gender, Madam Awood is here, Child and Social Welfare, we have launched the Government of South Sudan UN Joint Program on gender-based violence, which is intended to enable institutional capabilities within government structures and other national partners to be able to prevent and respond to GBV. The government of South Sudan has developed a national action plan to end child marriage, where we focus on addressing the core drivers of child marriages beyond conflict. And there's already an act in place which punishes parents who allow their young girls to be married before the age of 18. On a good note, the government of South Sudan has signed a peace agreement with the opposition groups on the 12th of September 2018. This provides an opportunity also to reach out and to encourage the refugees and the displaced to return to their areas. And this will make it possible for us and our partners to be able to provide timely health care services to these people. This is an opportunity for us also as a government to appeal to the partners to support this agreement such that we can be able to get to every corner of the country and save more money that is being spent currently on humanitarian work on development and other related issues. Thank you.
We're going to point for number 12 here. Okay. Can you bring a few seats here? As soon as we start,
on behalf of the Transitional Government of National Unity of the Republic of South Sudan, we are so delighted to be here today at the treaty section of the United Nations in New York. So South Sudan today has deposited two instruments that were signed and approved by His Excellency the President, General Salva Kiir Mayardit, on the 25th of April 2016. So the instruments are: one is the instrument of binding declaration related to the optional protocol to the Convention on the Rights of the Child and the Sale of Children. And the second instrument is the instrument of binding declaration related to the optional protocol to the Convention on the Rights of the Child and Involvement of Children in Armed Conflict. With these few remarks, we would like to reiterate that the government of the Republic of South Sudan is committed to improving the situation of children in the country and also protecting them from any abuse that may occur as a result of any conflict in the nation. Thank you very much.
Côte d'Ivoire has a lot of experience. The country went to crisis. They came out from those national crises. Just like us, South Sudan, we went also into crisis. We became independent because of the support of all the African nations, including Côte d'Ivoire. But recently we went into some kind of civil war. We came out now from Vietnam. The message I brought to the Minister is that we want his country to support the Republic of South Sudan politically, materially, morally also, especially here in the council and the also, we are former of Côte d'Ivoire national team. We hope one day they will also represent us in the final. Welcome.
Your Excellency, Maria Fernanda Gracias, President of the 33rd 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Your Excellencies, Head of State and Government, Honourable Ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Madam President, it is my utmost honor to deliver this statement on behalf of His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, who unfortunately could not be present here today due to his engagement in consolidating and streamlining the implementation of the peace process. Madam President, I would also like to congratulate you on your election as President of this 73rd session of the General Assembly and being the first woman to hold this position. The Republic of South Sudan affirms its commitment to play its role in supporting the implementation of the agenda you set for this historic session. On behalf of the people of the Republic of South Sudan and my government, I would like to reiterate our heartfelt condolences to the family of the former UN Secretary General, His Excellency Kofi Annan, who passed away recently, to the entire UN family. He played a crucial supporting the people of the Republic of South Sudan by ensuring that there was peace, and that peace was instrumental in formation of the Republic of South Sudan. Also, I was happy to witness the centenary of late Madiba. It was indeed befitting that the UN decided 24th September for the Nelson Mandela Summit. He was an icon of peace whose legacy will live forever. Madam President, the theme that you have selected for this session, making the United Nations relevant to all people, global leadership, shared responsibilities for peaceful, equitable, and sustainable societies, resonated very well with the vision of the Republic of South Sudan for peace and prosperity. Madam President, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this juncture to share with this August House some of the successes we have made in our long walk to peace and prosperity. Last year, I stood before you as the first Vice President of a country amid violent conflict. Today, I stand before you as a testament of what members of this body have helped achieve in the Republic of South Sudan, especially the dedicated UN agencies operating our country, the IGAD, AU, EU, Troika, China, IGAD Partners Forum, international partners, and friends of South Sudan. I'm pleased to inform this August House of a more united Republic of South Sudan that is heading toward peaceful stability with the continued support and goodwill from our regional and international partners. We are on schedule to hold free and fair general election after a transitional period of 36 months. The path towards this agreement began at 31st Extraordinary Summit of IGAD Assembly of Heads of States and Government on the Republic of South Sudan of 12 June 2017 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. They aligned on the need for a high-level revitalization forum of all the parties to the agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan. This process includes new stakeholders and the inclusion of various groups, including civil society, women groups, religious leaders, youth, eminent personalities as observers. The purpose of high-level revitalization forum as is stated by extraordinary IGAD Head of State Summit held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, was threefold. Firstly, to institute a permanent ceasefire. Second, to give a fresh impetus to inclusive implementation of the provision of the RCs. And thirdly, to agree on a new realistic timeline and implementation schedule toward democratic election at the end of the transitional period. The government of the Republic of South Sudan unreservedly embraced the IGAD-led high-level revitalization forum for the agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan. Its objectives were crystal clear, and to that extent, the delegation of the government of the Republic of South Sudan attended the high-level revitalization forum meetings fully prepared to utilize the opportunities to bring about the achievement of a comprehensive and lasting peace. The 32nd Extraordinary Summit of IGAD on the Republic of South Sudan entrusted His Excellency Field Marshal President Umar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan, to facilitate the second round of face-to-face talk discussion between His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit and Dr. Riek Machar and other political leaders to resolve the outstanding issues on governance and security arrangements of the IGAD-led high-level revitalization forum. Madam President, the signing of the Khartoum Declaration of Agreement between the parties to the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan took place on the 27th June 2018. His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit and Dr. Riek Machar, together with other political leaders, approved under that agreement, firstly, declaration of permanent ceasefire throughout South Sudan based on cessation of hostilities agreement signed on 21st December 2017. Second, adoption of security arrangements in order to build one national army, police, and other security organs of an inclusive character. Third, conclusion of the agreement on revised bridging proposal before the closure of Khartoum round of talks. On 12 September 2018, all the parties, the Transitional Government of National Unity, Sudan People Liberation Army movement in opposition, South Sudan Opposition Alliance, former detainees, other political parties, and other stakeholders to the agreement signed the final revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. This was graciously attended and witnessed by IGAD head of states and government, the international community, AU, EU, UN, Troika, China, IPF, international partners, and friends of the Republic of South Sudan. In addition to the recently signed revitalized peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan on 12 September 2018 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, we have also embarked on a national dialogue and grassroots people-to-people peace initiatives since December 2015. It is our belief that this complementary three-track approach is the only way to consolidate the effort for peace on the ground. Moreover, this ensures the return to accountability, the upholding of human rights in my country. In a unique environment such as in the Republic of South Sudan, a multi-layer approach like the one adopted by my government is the best way forward. Madam President, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore against this background that the Transitional National Government of National Unity has embraced the full implementation of the agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan as the only instrument pivotal to achieving this mission and vision. The government of the Republic of South Sudan is ready to welcome forces from the grantors of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, to monitor the implementation of the peace agreement and encourages the IGAD and AU to dialogue with the United Nations Security Council on how the Regional Protection Force, RPF, can help in monitoring and ensuring that peace holds in the Republic of South Sudan. With regard to the security sector reforms, which are a major pillar of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, my government reiterates its commitment and resolve to implement transitional security arrangements. Indeed, they encompass a range of security sector reforms, including cantonment of forces. Moreover, the government is committed to transforming the Sudan People Liberation Army, SPLA, and the structures are already in place to achieve the aim of creating a professional national army. I'm very pleased to inform this August House of the formation of the National Pre-Transitional Committee, NPTC, which is comprised of all stakeholders that shall be entrusted with the function of oversight and coordination of the implementation of the peace agreement activities of the pre-transitional transitional period. Madam President, connoted with the aim of achieving lasting peace is establishment of mechanism to tackle impunity and accountability. In the recent decided terrain case, the government interviewed victims in order to hold individuals responsible to account. A detailed investigation formula and evidence gathering process with the support of the U.S. government through FBI meant that the victims were able to identify their attackers and enable the law to prosecute those accountable to the full extent. Since the eruption of the conflict in December 2013, the military court-martial has tried 204 cases, including the terrain case. The terrain trial demonstrates the commitment of the SPLA to make members accountable for their crimes, including abuse of civilians. It goes without saying that war has depleted the economy of the Republic of South Sudan. We have seen tremendous loss in life, property, and human dignity. No report can cut to my heart as the sight of our young and the infirm dying needlessly and suffering deprivation. Indeed, I have been asked specifically why my government believes that it is permanent peace this time. There is another African proverb that advises, I quote, to look where you have slipped, because it is there you will find where made you fall, end of quote. It is through a change of leaders' attitude from entrenched position that we have moved forward towards a reconciliatory and accommodating government national unity. My president, His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit, has compromised on many positions and worked with more stakeholders for the sake of peace. The IGAD-led peace initiative have demonstrated the way in which African solution to African problems can lead to an agreement. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to IGAD, in particular, the Republic of South Sudan, and the broader international community. Without their critical role, this revitalized peace agreement would not have happened. In this regard, given the positive role being played by the Republic of Sudan in the peace process in the Republic of South Sudan and the region, we appeal for the speedy normalization of the relationship between the Republic of Sudan and the United States of America. Moreover, we call for a total lifting of the sanction against the Republic of Sudan. We urge the government of the Republic of Sudan for a speedy resolution of the contentious issues in Blue Nile, Southern Kordofan, and Darfur. This emanates from our strong belief that stability in these areas is critical for total lasting peace in the Republic of South Sudan and in the Republic of Sudan and the region as a whole. On Abyei, as we await the settlement of its final status, the government of the Republic of South Sudan reiterates its support to the recommendation of the UN Secretary General to the UN Security Council on August 20th this year. We also commend the good work of UNISPA and remain grateful to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the sole UNISPA troop contributor. We also urge this August House to support effort is still at level of the African Union to find a political solution to the Abyei matter. In particular, we call for the implementation of the AU High Implementation Panel, HIP, in Baker proposal of 21st September 2012, which has been accepted for more than 6 times. For more than 6 times to date by the AU Peace and Security Council. It is high time that we bring an end to the suffering of the Ngok Dinka people. Madam President, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegate, ladies and gentlemen, conflict by itself can be a vehicle for positive change if we are aware of where we came from, where we are now, and where we are heading to. As brothers and sisters, we have hurt each other. As we seek national healing, my President, His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, empowered a cross-section of community representatives and mediators to set up national dialogue and other grassroots people-to-people peace initiative. The national dialogue was launched to conduct a multi-layer approach to repairing the social fabric. It has been heavily criticized by external observers, mainly because of the misconception that it was considered a substitute to peace talks. At the launch of the national dialogue in 2015, its aims was to create a forum in which the causes of the conflict could be discussed, and among other things, to add the populace important questions, such as those of national identity, governance, the relationship between communities, including causes of communal conflict. The grassroots component has been the most effective. Members of the committee visited regions starting from the community level, asking questions designed to identify the causes of the division, whilst also searching for solutions to those visions and how to heal them. The process allowed for those who didn't have an opportunity to have their voices heard to begin putting across their various viewpoints. The reports from the grassroots were candid in their nature, as the communities were allowed to express their opinion freely without fear or repercussion. We look forward to seeing the next steps of this process as we enter the transitional period. Madam President, in making the United Nations relevant to all people, global leadership, and shared responsibilities for peaceful, equitable, sustainable societies, I would like to reiterate that my government welcomes the presence and support of the United Nations agencies. However, the terms of this relationship need to be reconsidered, specifically in protecting the vulnerable citizens in the host country. It is only through a reflective approach that we can move forward towards adopting the nature of this institution to make it fit for the environment today. Last but not least, as I speak of reviving peace in the Republic of South Sudan, it is only right to mention John F. Kennedy, who said, I quote, "Peace is daily, weekly, monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding all barriers, quietly building new structures." End of quote. I call upon members of the UN family, including those who are skeptical to give peace a chance in the Republic of South Sudan. By supporting the critical implementation phase of the peace agreement, the Republic of South Sudan will continue its cooperation with the United Nations, the regional bodies, IGAD, EAC, AU, EU, Troika, China, other international partners, and all our friends as we work to enhance conditions in our country. We undertake to consolidate peace, justice, rebuild a strong institution in our country, and stabilize our economy. We call upon you all as partners to support, cooperate, consult, and dialogue as we together partner in achieving your agenda for making United Nations relevant to all people, global leadership, and shared responsibilities for a peaceful, equitable, and sustainable societies. This is our agenda too. I thank you, Your Excellency, the President.